Good night through Papua New Guinea and welcome to this week's episode of Sports Scene. It's always great to have your company. I'm Elijah Lavette and I'm joined by the one and only Fidelis Sukina. Fids, how's it going, bro?
Thank you, Elijah, for that nice welcome onto Sports Scene. It's good to be on Sports Scene tonight. I haven't been on the show. This is my first time, so I'm looking forward to hosting the show with you.
I'll officially shake hands with you.
Bro.
Welcome.
Good to see you as well. You look fine with yourself, but going on with the show, what do we have for tonight?
Yeah, man, we have a lot coming on tonight's program. We have some few new segments as well that are coming on tonight with the Motu commentary.
Some behind-the-scenes look as well. Some
behind-the-scenes funny moments. That's all coming later on in the program. But first, here's what's coming up for you on tonight's program. And we have all that and more coming up later on in the show. But to begin, sports always sets platforms for improvement and build character and discipline in most athletes. Playing overseas and being educated on a scholarship abroad to improve your sporting career gives you the opportunity to see PNG from a different worldview.
For Lucy Maino, the co-captain of the women's football team, her worldview from studying in America has given rise to the desire to enter the Miss Pacific Islands Papua New Guinea pageant this year. Lucy Maino has spent most of her adolescent life in America, and now at the age of 24, she has made a bold decision to give back to Papua New Guinea, her home country. From what she has seen and learned, she has mustered the courage to join the Miss PNG pageant.
The lenses of a different culture, looking into my own culture. So that was something that was big, and I saw a lot of things that needed to be changed and can be changed for the betterment of our country. I believe that there was a lot that I could come back and give to the country, whether it was through my experiences, my education. There was something that I knew that I could bring back, and even if I helped someone make a change for the betterment of their lives, that was good enough for me.
Since middle school all the way to university, she has seen PNG from the outside. But she has been an active member of Team PNG through the national women's football team. Being in the presence of other women through sports, she has seen and heard some of their struggles.
How I obtained my education overseas and how through sports I finished my education, and now I want to give back to people in PNG, and by giving back, that's through sports. And this is another great outlet, another great platform to voice and speak up for women where there's issues that we face, especially with education and sports. So that's what motivated me to take that risk and try something new, and to use a platform to bring positivity and to bring women empowerment, sports development through women in this country.
Lucy's mother, Emily Isoaimo Maino, has seen her daughter grow up with her auntie in the United States and has taken up the interest in women issues in the country.
As a mother, I am humbled by this. As young growing up, I could see her talents and gift, which I see that as a blessing. All of this started when she was very young, at age 15. She represented PNG, Oceania football team, to attend Youth Olympic Games, which was mooted first of its kind to Singapore. That's where she was exposed, internationally exposed. And from there, she has not looked back, stopped, and she's just gone forward, which I am so proud of. And I'm also very thankful to my one and only sister, who has given her the opportunity to bring her to United States of America and educating her there.
Lucy is an influential figure in the women's national football team. As the co-captain, she is respected by the other women, the young ones especially, that look up to her.
I always tell my girls, whether on the national team, that have confidence in yourself. There's a reason you're selected to be on a team, whether it's locally or nationally, So you have to believe in yourself, because if you believe in yourself, other people will believe in you.
For Lucy, this is a pathway to bigger things in the future. She has set aside a master's application to pursue national interest, and her mother is proud of her to take up issues of women in sports and education to advocate at a national event.
She plans on going to graduate school to do her master's, which she now takes a gap year off to come back and serve at community level. And thank God that her talent shown, and our country selected her to represent the country, which she did, and she did very, very well. I'm a proud mother, I can say that. And to now get off the Pacific Games and into the Pacific Pageant, it's something that I am humbled.
Lucy won her second gold medal in Samoa last month, and she is looking forward to the crowning night for the Miss PNG pageant on the 31st of this month.
To be honest, it's amazing. My journey has been amazing. I graduated in May. I knew I was on the train-on squad, so I came straight, went into preparation for the Pacific Games. While I was there, found out I got a sponsor, so as soon as I came back straight into this, it's been awesome. I don't like just sitting down and not doing anything, so it's been such a fun journey and new experiences, so I'm just looking forward to this journey now with being part of the pageant.
The PNG women's football co-captain Lucy Maino is just, joined the Miss Pacific Islands Papua New Guinea pageant as Miss Paga Hill Estate. She was studying in Hawaii for a few years. Is that correct? Yeah.
Yep, she went over at the age of 15 to America. Her auntie, who is also named Lucy, a former employee of EMTV as well, took her over, and she was there since the age of 15 at year 10 and studied all the way, got a scholarship, went to Hawaii University. She studied business administration, that's right. And she got her degree and she's back. She wants to contribute something to Papua New Guinea for sports and women empowerment especially. So she's working on that, and she sees that this is a platform for her to use that worldview that she had when she was in America, seeing Papua New Guinea from the outside. She has seen that there's a need in sports, women empowerment. So she's taken on that role as Miss Paga Hill Estate. And of course her mother, Emily Isoaimo Maino, she is a proud mother, and she also mentioned that this is an opportunity for her as well to get some sponsorship to get on to her master's. She's thinking of getting a master's in international business at the same university, at the University of Hawaii. So this could be an opportunity for her to get some more sponsorship, because tuition fees out there in the Americas are really expensive at the moment. So that's a pathway that she's taking on to come to Papua New Guinea, do some let's say work to help empowerment of women in sports and also the normal livelihood of every woman in Papua New Guinea, where violence is a big issue.
And I mean, that's what everyone, female athletes, push for, that's women empowerment. And yes, we wish Lucy Maino all the best in the Miss Pacific Islands pageant. Now, coming up next, we discuss sports being inclusive, where disability is not a barrier.
And much later on the show, we bring you the biggest event from the weekend. That's the international pro boxing fights, where PNG boxers went up against Australia and Filipino boxers. Stay with us.
Now, moving over to female kickboxing, and PNG female kickboxers have been given a chance to participate in world title fights. This is the first time female fighters in PNG have been given the opportunity. Now, this initiative was brought about by the PNG Kickboxing Federation under the leadership of former kickboxing world champion Stanley Nandex. After being stagnant for some time, the PNG Kickboxing Federation has become more active over the past few months. They have hosted and introduced new fights during the year and hope to expand throughout the country. They also aim to include more women in the sport.
PNG Kickboxing Federation has taken another initiative, which is to organize an event. It's called Female Kickboxing League. Under the banner, we're looking at promoting the fighters, especially female fighters, for title fights. This is going to be the first of its kind in the country. We've been seeing a lot of females just taking part in kickboxing, but not taking any front stage, and always been a back stage. And I think it's about time we have to give this opportunity, because we've seen a number of interest for women across the country, but we haven't been given that opportunity, and I think that day has come.
This is an initiative by the PNG Kickboxing Federation to help female fighters in the country gain some international exposure. This is the first of its kind in the country to have female fighters compete at an international level.
From the federation level, we are very happy to host one of the most important fights for the females in the country. I think the credit goes to our chief, the head under Stanley Nandex.
Joycelyn Nauni and Jessie Gonapa have been chosen to compete for the World Kickboxing belt. The winner goes on to compete for the Intercontinental title against an international opponent.
The first of its kind, where women are given a platform to showcase our talent. We've been overshadowed by men for some time now, so I think it's good for Chief and Eddie to come up with this initiative to at least put us women out in the fighting market. So I'm proud to be the first, and for Joycelyn and me to fight for this title belt.
Asking all girls that sister number talking come join fight.
Joycelyn and Jessie have been part of the code for past years, but have not been given an opportunity to fight for an international belt. This time around, PNG Kickboxing Federation has given them the opportunity to do so, something they say will help increase female participation in kickboxing.
This is going to be one of those programs which will become a platform in terms of seeing women, empowering them, using the women in terms of involving in this kind of issues, and men should really respect women at this stage. And it involves a lot of benefits to this, and it's not just about promoting fighters or champions.
PNG Kickboxing Federation is looking to improve the sport and have equal participation in their federation.
So I think I'm also very proud of the event that is coming up in September. That is to showcase our young ladies in the country. And maybe we will have potential promoters outside of PNG who would want to take on board our ladies in the country to go and fight overseas to display their potential in other parts of the world.
This is going to be another stepping stone for them. This is the international title that we are promoting, and this will qualify them to get the Intercontinental title, which is the opponent is also on standby at the moment. So the winner will take the international fighter. This all happens also in Kimbe. We also have a number of fights coming up with Lee Henry Karap, and other fighters will be taken on the world stage as well. So this is part of our program. We like to work together with other partners, which we have been promoting, and Flash Kickboxing Promotions, and we like to also include different other promoters will need to come in so that we can all work together for the interest of the sport and provide opportunity to our fighters.
We promised you some new content on sports scene, and this is one of them. PNG has officially 3 languages: English, Tok Pisin, and Motu. Here at Sports Scene, we promote athletes who can speak at least 2 languages. If there's 3 languages you can speak, even better. But for your entertainment, we have brought in 2 Motu commentators who will be commentating on a few short videos going ahead. And for your valued viewers, this will be a Namo experience. So here we go, our first ever Motu commentary.
Steve Price, 4 tackle le kare.
30-meter line.
Look, 30-meter line ne. Bolle play. Look in. Oh, what I never chip marak. Oh, what a Billy Slater here.
Yellow. Oh, left side the pick away. Kick marak in your kare.
Oh, what a bolle abene. What
try.
Try. My brother in confirm in try to. Ite
30-meter line. 30-meter line be offside or last.
Nebe sisina ya. Suspicious sisina to.
Oh, Sean Hempstead. Some video referee in here.
Video referee can data find out. To crowd ite ya.
Ide
mole mkan.
Ide deba try. Confirm try.
Billy ine betauta lasi
Billy. Confirm.
Billy Slater ine. To look in a mastermind namoram kan ite ia kau tu dummy war inside outside ite. Oite ne. Kiki ato ne.
Lauita nam lasi close up please. Inside oh offside. Close up man tight.
Banda.
Okay, close up.
Close up oite.
If there's any benefit of the doubt,
Butu ball be namo. Okay.
Billy Slater and maybe
Onside.
Yeah, be onside.
Straight, flat.
No, maybe video referee maybe try to ya.
Try. Awarded.
Oite, kiki ato ane.
Oh, si bamoni CPT. But lo be Usain ball ya have it last. Na be Billy. See you later, Slater.
Namuram komite.
Future representative.
Iyo, ina be future town. The look here in a game plan here be. Dine minister here be. Organize mind. Yeah, dibam kan ite ni.
Oh, immortal in the making. Billy Slater, coach. Coach Medicine. Oh, coach Mia Moale.
Para ne biore ni.
And what a Namo experience indeed. Now, viewers, if you want to do your own commentary in your own talk place, you can also record your own video and just send it to us on Facebook. But we'll go for a few short messages now, and when we come back, we take a look at the international pro boxing fight that happened on Saturday night, where PNG's junior Kauko, Raka and Ezetullah Kakar and John Korake faced Australia and Philippines here in Port Moresby. Don't go away. Welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, you're watching Sports Scene. Now, the Oceania Fight Promotions held a successful pro boxing fight night on Sunday with 3 international bouts. The first one between Ezetullah Kakar and
Deok No Yoon
from
South Korea fighting out of Australia. The second one was between Jordan Samadali from Australia.
And going up against your one, John Korake. Yeah. And the last one, the main bout, was between junior Kauko, Raka and the Filipino
Alan Velesfin.
Yes. See, at least he has a much easier name, not like the Australians. By the way. Anyway,
we're going to be talking about the Deok No Yoon and Ezetullah Kakar fight, right?
Yeah, so Ezetullah Kakar is actually a kickboxer.
Yeah, so Ezetullah Kakar is a kickboxer, and he's also a refugee who's currently settling in Papua New Guinea at the moment. So he found Stanley Nandex on Facebook, decided to inbox Stanley Nandex, and ended up getting a few fights under his belt. He's a champion boxer back in his home country of Pakistan. So.
Kickboxer?
Yep.
Yeah. So his fight between Deok No Yoon and himself, well, he got knocked out in the third round. What do you think he did wrong?
Well, the thing is, for Ezetullah Kakar, he didn't get knocked out, but the fight was stopped because he was a bit dizzy in the fight. But I could see that Deok No Yoon, being a taller opponent,
had this guy is massive.
Yeah, this guy is massive, and he's solid. You can see that he's a real athlete, the build of a boxer, and of course, not putting Ezetullah Kakar down on any. He's got the physique there as well, but I thought that Deok No Yoon had the strength and will to knock out Ezetullah Kakar. He had the technique there as well, so he was putting Ezetullah Kakar on the back foot. Towards the third round and around the second and the third round, Ezetullah Kakar
he was already.
I think he busted his nose or something, and he was trying to protect himself, going more on the defensive than on the attack. And that's where Deok No Yoon decided to capitalize and go all out on Ezetullah Kakar.
Yeah. Anyway, but after the fight, Prime Minister James Marape was there as well. And after the fight, Ezetullah Kakar had this to say to the Prime Minister.
I love to come here to fight for justice. Today I have chance. Today I got a good chance to talk front of the new Prime Minister, James Marape. Big respect for him. But I can take the flag tomorrow, the PG flag. But please, 6 years too long in Manus Detention Center political games. Please, today my request. No, this is first time refugee got the chance front of the Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea. Big respect for him. But today he have to give to some hope to us to stop the political games in Manus. We are stressed, we lift our country for something. So please, my big request to come to here in the ring beside of me and give a strong hope to all the refugees and change this political game. My big request. It's too long. It's too long. All the politicians is quiet. So please, Prime Minister, my big request, can you come please to give us a strong hope? I need request from you, please, welcome.
Yeah, and Fidelis, interesting words there from Ezetullah Kakar, who told the Prime Minister 6 years in the Manus Detention Center is just too long for him.
Yeah, well, Ezetullah Kakar was there since 2013, and he's very concerned about it. All the time when he took part in kickboxing, he was dedicating all his fights to those asylum seekers in the detention centers in Nauru and, of course, up there in Manus. So this opportunity was the time that he saw James Marape. James Marape was there for 4 straight hours, watching all the undercut bouts all the way to the last main bout against which Alan Velez-Finn took on Junior Raka. So Prime Minister was there, and after that you saw that Prime Minister went ahead and shook hands with Ezetullah Kakar. So the Supreme Court has ruled that the Manus Detention Center be closed, and I think Australia and PNG are still trying to work that out. Hopefully what Ezetullah Kakar said will give some hope. Some push to the Prime Minister to make things happen for Papua New Guinea and close the detention center once and for all.
Yes, now moving over to our second fight between John Korake and your friend
Jordan Samad Ali.
Jordan Samad Ali, sorry.
Yeah, Jordan Samad Ali. So I think in this fight, Jordan Samad Ali was more dominant. It was a unanimous decision that Jordan Samad Ali won against John Korake. Jordan Samad Ali, especially fast on his feet.
Yeah, he kept moving around the ring, just, landing his punches. John Korake just couldn't, corner him. So that was one advantage Jordan Samad Ali had. But it was a pretty interesting fight.
Yeah, well, it was 8 minutes and 2 rounds each minute, so they went the full course of the 8 rounds. And of course, during those matches, there were some good punches by John Korake as well to Jordan Samad Ali. And in one stage, it looked like John Korake would take out the fight, but Jordan Samad Ali kept on moving around. And I think that tired John Korake a bit there. So John Korake, he's expecting a rematch. This time, they didn't fight for any belts.
No.
It was more like a promotional fight to get themselves on par with each other. I think they are all going to be having, what do you call that, rematches? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so John Korake and Jordan Samad Ali are going to have a rematch later on.
And
this is what John Korake had to say after his fight.
Oh, it's a very big challenge for me. This different type of boxer, it's a fighters, it's a scoring boxer. So this man it's not strong, but me try to knock him, but he's too smart and move around and getting score. Tonight me now work hard to mass because I'm coming kissing points. Kissing points. So that's my failure. Me no work hard, throw him hand to mass. So I'm kissing plenty points. So yes, I'll do a rematch again. So that rematch will be a title fight. This time it's not a title fight. I'm just working. That will be next month. That's a big title fight by me to play working for the belt.
Yes, and the main bout was between Junior Kauko Raka and Alan
Velez-Finn
from the Philippines. Yeah.
If you look at the cards there, Junior Kauko Raka had only 5 professional bouts and 5 wins. For our friend Alan Velez-Finn from the Philippines.
The Philippines.
Alan Velez-Finn from the Philippines. He has 16 professional bouts under his belt, 12 wins and 9 of those by knockouts. So he was the most senior fighter, the favorite coming in. The Filipino community,
the most experienced as well.
The Filipino community also turned out to show support.
The ambassador was there as well, sitting with the Prime Minister, and it was a very interesting fight.
Yeah, split decision there, so it was very competitive. The exchange of punches, we saw that they were catching up on the points there, with Junior Kauko Raka getting a few headshots in there. And of course, Alan Velez-Finn as well. It was tied up with the points. That's why it became a split decision in the end. A good show of moves by both fighters. So it was really good to watch. Kept the crowds, glued to the match. 8 rounds, 2 minutes each way as well. So it was an interesting fight. Worth the money for that night. And it was good to see Papua New Guinea coming out with a win from the 3 professional international bouts.
Yeah, that's true. And after the match, the Philippines community were actually demanding for a rematch later on. And Junior Kauko Raka, who trains under
integrated MMA with Jamie Pang.
Yeah, so this is Jamie Pang was actually talking to someone else, and we happened to walk past, and this was what he said. He was like, I told Junior Kauko Raka if he had knocked the Filipino
Alan Velez-Finn down.
If he had knocked him out, I would have given him 10 grand. Now I'm thinking of joining boxing soon, so. But for 10 grand, man. Yeah. Anyway, after the fight, this is what Junior Kauko Raka had to say.
Misa sama mastret, misa sama slosla. Julo naulo night. Misa amo mastret lo. Mixim slavin for since last year. Mi try lo mixim slavin, but mi no mixim through success. Lo November last year come last month fight. Mi no mixim na now mixim. Misa sama mastret lo. Miat na all team lo mi. Yes, challenge bin kam lo mi lo sem lo boys now sem all Philippines so sem all promoters like Oceania fight promotion all challenge me all to sem Philippines sem nokat ambla line sa BT mall since amas 2011 kamantap all Philippines kalapya nokat ambla PNG DBT mall na mi sa master to sem now mi binim isla fight lo split decision. Mi bin talking all to sem all pla Philippines na all pla PNG now mi pla PNG mi pla kamantap.
You're watching Sports Scene. Just stand by there. We'll go for some quick messages and we'll be back. Welcome back. You're watching Sports Scene, and now for some weekend sports. The Port Moresby Corporate Slow Pitch Softball is well into competition with over 30 teams. Sports Scene captured some of the action at the Bisini Softball Diamonds on Saturday.
Corporate slow pitch has been part of the Port Moresby Women's Softball Association's calendar for a number of years now and has been successful as it provides an area for corporate houses to come together for a day of sport every week.
Next batter for Kauko PNG.
For this year, the competition records a healthy participation of 28 organizations.
The competition has got about 28 companies that registered 30 teams. We've actually come, I think this is the 5th game now. We've got 2 more games to go before the final comes about, and we have the grand final coming about on the 7th of September, just before the Independence weekend. So far so good. We have 3 pools made up of 10 teams each. I think it's corporate, so we have a lot of players coming out to enjoy the game with their families, dependents that they come together with. So, and also a time to network with each other.
Sports Scene arrived at the Diamonds on Saturday in time to capture Adiranu and Telecom's meet, as well as a strong match between BSP and On Search. Guise became away victors with a 3-2 scoreline, while Edirano and Telecom had to settle for a draw at 11 flat. They have 2 more rounds to go before the finals. And other events remaining on the Port Moresby women's softball calendar include a juniors competition that is coming up next month following the completion of the corporate slow pitch.
So we've got the corporate slow pitch, and then after the corporate slow pitch we have the juniors, a junior competition. We only select a few schools that come in to participate in that. After the juniors, then we now start with the season again, where we have the clubs come in to play. And the season goes up until just before April of next year.
And the general public is encouraged to get out to the Diamonds to catch a few games.
If you want to come on in and just enjoy watching a game, the softball, do come on to the Softball Diamonds to watch a game. The game itself is a fun sort of a thing. It's a mixed team competition. Come with your families and watch the sport and enjoy the sport as well.
Collecting content for this program is always an adventure of its own, and just like any adventure, there are memorable, funny moments, not only funny, but also very interesting moments as well. So this is our new segment going forward with the Sports Scene team, some funny behind-the-scenes moments for your amusement. So our first ever What a Joke segment. You be the judge.
And at the moment, we're here just filming some hockey.
Godwin, you look confused.
Pan the camera so you can see what I'm talking about.
Nice pen, but why are you in the shot? Oh, so this is how your cameraman came in. This is how we roll when it comes to pro boxing. Watch out or you get knocked out by a rug. And this guy, this is what you get for pitch invasion. Attempted selfie gone absolutely wrong. And now to some Rugby League action. Port Moresby Rugby Football League has been dominating the Southern Confederate trials for the past 5 years. This year, the trials for all Southern Region affiliated competitions registered to the PNG RFL will be held at Quickilla. Port RFL, who is celebrating its 70th season, has been the dominant Rugby League competition that has stood the test of time and is contributing to the development of Rugby League at all the levels of competition. The Port Moresby Rugby Football League women's team won dominated on Tuesday at Quickilla and were given top honours. Crowned as winners of the Southern Confederate Trials, the team remained undefeated, keeping up with the supremacy tag which Port RFL has in the women's division in the Southern Confederate. The men's teams, the Port RFL Gold and Port RFL Green, will start their competitions tomorrow on Friday and will conclude with the finals on Saturday.
Friday and Saturday will end with the seniors. Port Moresby Rugby League preparation is on course. We have confirmed our players. They have been in their respective groups, training under their appointed coaches and trainers. We have appointed team managers to take charge of each teams. We are already working around preparing our logistics to support the teams.
Port Moresby is in its 70th season and one of the best competitions in the country. And Port Moresby plans to maintain their supremacy in this year's Southern Confederate Trials like they have been doing in the past.
We are the tag to rugby league in this country, so we will be disappointed if in 1 year we don't do well or if we lose to the Confederate other leagues, Southern Region other leagues. That would be a disappointment. That would be a surprise. Otherwise, we are the Premier League, we are the champions, and we have a very, very high standard to maintain every year.
For the past 5 years, Port Moresby has dominated the Southern Confederate Trials. Ultimately, the majority of the senior men's and women's Southern Confederate team is dominated by Port Moresby, setting the standard for the sport of rugby league for a long time in the Southern Confederate.
In the past 5 years, when rugby league became very, very organized and structured through the current board and administration of PNG Rugby Football League, I recall Port Moresby Rugby League, two teams, Team Green and Team Gold, coming out at the end of each tournament, they come out winners. So in those situations, over the last 5 years, we don't have a final because both our teams end up meeting in the finals. So we decide to call off that game, because the purpose of those selection trials are just for selection. There's no prize money, so there was no point in continuing with the final games where each year our teams, Green and Gold, end up meeting in the final game. And that is across the three divisions, in the senior grade, in the under 20 and for our women competition as well.
And over to AFL now, and the AFL National Championships will be held in October with teams from different associations in the country together in Kimbe, West New Britain province. The tournament will be used as selections for the Flames and Mosquitoes as they will be preparing to attend the International Cup next year.
Okay, for AFL there'll be selections going on for the Seniors National Championships. That will be held in West New Britain, in Kimbe, in October, in late October. So yeah, those are the only plans for Port AFL and the other leagues around the country at the moment. That will be the selection for the Mosquitoes and the Flames teams for the International Cup 2020 next year.
Yes, that was AFL, and of course both of us were there over the weekend. Yeah. We caught a game of Lamana Dockers and the Garaka Bombers. I didn't know that Garaka had a team. It was good to see the locals from NCD and Central taking part in a sport that was mostly dominated by the New Guinea Islands.
Yeah, the Garaka Bombers, well, like Rex Lecker said, they were a team that really didn't perform to their best last season, but this season have really stepped up. Also, the Port Moresby AFL competition has somewhat
I heard that
the standard of competition is level of competition has risen with the inclusion of players from West New Britain coming to Port Moresby to play in different teams like the Lamana Dockers and
a few rugby league players as well.
A few rugby league players as well.
So, you know, it's all Papua New Guineans. Most of us that are taking part in sports, they're dual athletes. We've got people that play rugby union, rugby league, some play soccer. And of course, you've got rugby league players, rugby union players playing AFL, vice versa, softball as well. So it's really good to see that there's talent cross-cutting with all the sports out there, and of course, helping AFL to grow. That's a really, really good concept for Port Moresby AFL.
Yeah, and they'll be preparing for the National Championships that's going to be in Kimbe, West New Britain province in October, where they will be selecting a team for the International Cup in 2020. PNG, the men's team, yet
Mosquitoes,
still not defeated.
Yeah,
still champions for what, 3?
I think so, 3 times in a row.
3-time champions.
Godwin covered that, so he might have some idea, but I don't know where Godwin is at the moment. We'll check him out and confirm some of those. But it's good to see that AFL is dominated AFL PNG has been dominating in the international scene. Of course, it's an Australian sport, but it's good to see that Papua New Guinea is one of the champion teams that beating other countries in the sport. So we're looking forward to the 2020 championships there with the Flames and Mosquitoes.
The Mosquitoes. Anyway, we'll head out for a few short messages, and when we return, we'll wrap up the show. Welcome back to the show. Now, before we go, Fids, what will you be covering this weekend?
Well, I'm looking forward to see the finals of the Southern Confederate Trials down at Quiquila. Hopefully, I can get down to Quiquila.
Yeah, man, you should go.
Get down there and watch the game between the Southern Confederate teams. That's teams in the Southern region that will be taking part for a shot at being in the final team to take part in the Confederate Championships, where Northern Confederate, Southern Confederate, NGI, and Highlands Confederate will be taking part in September.
So hopefully you get down there to Quiquila. Hopefully you come back as well. But also the SB Hunters will be playing
taking
a home
on
match
Belly
this weekend.
Bears, so it's going to be the White Kumul, Luke Page coming over to take on the PNG boys. Our team hasn't been doing very well. Last week we got a thumping 48 points to something, and it's really sad to see that we are trying to finish off well, but we are kind of lagging. We are lagging behind
Not in last.
Well, we are 3 points away from being the Wooden Spooners. We have to win the last three games in order for us to avoid the Wooden Spoon.
But I'm pretty sure the boys can do it. Also, some new inclusions in.
Oh yeah,
squad.
that's right.
Yep.
Gary Lowe is back, and of course David Loco as well. So they are all back to take the Hunters through to the last three remaining matches. Hopefully they can help us avoid the Wooden Spoon. That's the big thing that's going around, the word going around. So we've got David Loco, Willie Minoga, and Gary Lowe, who are back in the Hunters for the last remaining matches.
3 games.
And Elijah, what are you looking forward to this weekend?
Well, I'll be going over to the hockey turf at the Sejong Guise Stadium. Also, just going around Bicini, probably PMSA, and other local sporting events that will be happening during the weekend. So, yeah. Yes, and apart from what we just discussed, this is also what's coming up for you this weekend. If you'd like us to cover some sporting event of yours, you can send us an email at sports@emtv.com.pg or message us on our Facebook page, that's Sportsin on Facebook, or call us on 312-9200. Once again, thank you for watching. I'm Elijah Levet.
And I'm Fidelis Sukina.
And we'll see you all same time, same place next week. Good night.
We'll be right back.